Hi, I'm Katie, and it is time to continue playing Sherlock Holmes the Awakened, a first person detective mystery developed and published by Frogwares.
Have we enough to buy a boat, sir?
For sure.
Excellent. Could you tell us the best way to reach the swamp area nearest to the rich parish?
That's simple enough for any fool. Sail along the river crook and keep close to the shore.
There is one last service you can do for us. The boat from which we disembarked is scheduled to leave tomorrow for Europe. Could you take a message to the crew for us? We may need for them to hold their departure until 8 o'clock in the morning.
Will do.
And one last thing. How may we identify Old Sam's racks from any others?
Old Sam's racks be marked with blue and white tops.
Blue and white.
Now, Watson, let's explore this swamp.
Oh, I'm gonna save my game. Oh, let's go. This is our boat. Wow. We're actually in a boat and Watson is rowing and we are playing as Watson right now. This is one of the directions.
I have no reason to go there.
Okay, so that wasn't the direction to take. That looks like land, so we gotta go somewhere here.
Here is the hidden passage near Old Sam's racks. We are on the right course, Watson.
Okay, so we need to follow these markings. There is another one, but we cannot probably go past that, right? Okay, we need to take this path. That's not the right marking. Where is the other one? No, I don't think it's here. Okay, let's go around. Controlling this ain't easy always. This might be the direction we're looking for. Where is the other mark? Are we supposed to get lost? What is that tree? What is that? It looks like it has blood on its roots.
Nothing of value there, Watson.
So we came through there. Should we then go over here? If we just went too far. Oh, that looks like it's blue. Great. Great. Why is there blood on these rocks?
Blood!
Here now, this is hardly reassuring.
Oh, okay, we clearly have our other marking. What is that?
But what is this horror, Holmes? Where have you taken us?
Near the goal, Watson, near the goal. Here is the hidden passage near Old Sam's racks. We are on the right course, Watson.
What on?
I can think of nothing useful. What are we to do, Holmes? Good God! Look in the water! What monsters!
No, Watson, they are crocodiles, and apparently not very accommodating.
I can think of nothing useful. What are we to do, Holmes?
We must find some enticing food to lure them away from here, Watson. Let us think.
Oh no.
Holmes, I fail to see how they feed these creatures, and do not rely on me to dive in.
We gotta shoot the bodies from the trees.
Bravo, Watson. Here is what will draw these reptiles in that direction and free the passage.
Much better. But let's hurry and get ourselves across before we become their next course.
So is this the right direction? I think this is the only direction. I'm not seeing any blue marking.
Attention, Watson. We arrive. Stand ready.
Here now, this is hardly reassuring.
Indeed, indeed. Did you see that statue? Yeah, so there are skulls and humans and someone here. I bet we need...
Watson, see what you can do for this poor man. His servant took a harsh and terrible revenge by letting him go to these wild men. As for the others, I'm afraid we are too late.
Okay, so Watson will take care of that.
Pitiable and blind fools! Are you not aware of the Great One's arrival? Even now his servants are coming across his kingdom, and the enlightened will give up their flesh to him. All will be present for his awakening. Do not fight the calling! Soon he will end his dreaming, and your world will be swallowed whole. Bow down and give thanks. You are the food of his new world.
No, don't shoot, don't shoot. Oh, God.
I've got it, Holmes.
Why couldn't we have done some non-deadly damage to him? Why did we need to shoot him? Why? When I'm gonna play the remake, I hope we will have more diverse and versatile characters, and I hope we won't be killing people like this.
This sinister figure was also a cannibal. Bored by seafood, was he?
Bored by seafood, was he? Is that a joke? Is that supposed to be a joke? Wait, is this made from skin? Oh no. Yeah, all these huts look like they are made from different skins. It looks like this entire tree is growing from blood. And I guess there is only one thing left to investigate, which is the statue. What should we place in there? Statue?
What a strange book. I've never seen these idioms before. How perfect. It'll provide welcome diversion during our return voyage.
I'm glad that you think we're gonna be returning. What can we do with it, though? Is this it?
Holmes, help me to carry him to the boat. I really can't say if he will survive the voyage back.
Yeah, the blood loss must be immense.
By the devil, that'd be honest.
Indeed. Do you know someone who can be accommodating and tend to him?
You takes yourselves round and sees that little Lucy what lives on the boat.
I know where Lucy is. Please, help my friends to lift this poor man to the wharf, and I will go find Miss Lucy.
What can we do for you, my pretty one?
Dear madam, could you tell Lucy that we have found Mr. Anson, and tell her to hurry? This may be her last chance to see him while he still breathes.
Lucy! Lucy! Ah, here you are. This gentleman found you fella.
My God, can it be true?
Sure enough, as he say.
What have they done with you? Oh, my poor love.
He has lost his hand and is in deep shock. But with rest and tender care, he has a good chance to survive these injuries.
Oh, madam, please, please.
Oh, she actually came with us.
If I could have a moment, we found this sum of money, which is a large amount and belongs to Mr. Anson. I think it is fair to entrust it to your care.
Well, this seems all right then.
I will take good care of you. You'll see, my love.
About Anson's place, there was some disorder left there. If you could be a good man and set things right.
You can count on old Champagne for every little thing. Now, that's a fact.
I can see our friend is in good hands. We better hurry, Watson. I see our ship is making ready to leave.
What do you think reading that book will do to Holmes? Will his hunger for knowledge drive him somehow? Okay. Oh no.
Watson, I have told you several times now, I am not to be disturbed.
But Holmes, you have been locked inside your cabin for all of 4 days now. Outside, the sun is simply radiant, and the wind from the sea...
If you approach me, Watson, I will throw you out. Now, leave me.
Blast it all, Holmes! I am bored. I can't take these sailors' conversations for another minute.
We have an understanding, Watson, each to his purpose. I will look to the translation of the book. You are to study the figures written out by our young friend Davy. Now, get on with your task and leave me to mine.
But you know that these enigmas are not my strong point. Wouldn't you have some other task, which is better suited to my skills, Holmes?
Of course. You're a man of letters, after all. So, return to the bridge, take your trusted notebook, and apply your mind to editing this small writing.
Agreed. On what subject?
It is my monograph on the calculated trajectories of gull excretia. Good day, Watson.
Wow.
I see we have received a message, undoubtedly from my brother Mycroft.
Sherlock, you should receive this letter upon your return from the Americas. Your instructions were followed to the letter in Switzerland, and I believe you still find the results satisfying. Several days ago, the Swiss authorities inspected the Black Edelweiss Institute and found evidence of serious breaches of established medical ethics in total accord with your findings. Dr. Gyjax was also found and detained. Unfortunately, before anything could be learned, he took desperate measures. He had hidden a small but highly lethal dose of potassium cyanide on his person. Before he could be stopped, he swallowed this poison and died immediately. His employees denied any knowledge of the doctor's murderous activities, and the evidence supports the conclusion that they were merely employees carrying out his orders. No trace was found of the Hindi. However, your friend, Superintendent Belcher, informed me that during their search of an underground level of the Institute, his men discovered a blood-spattered well. In this room, they also reported hearing a strange maniacal laughter that appeared to come from the bottom of that same well. The superintendent thinks, as I do, that the sound was shouting of the patients gathered in the hospital square. He theorizes that due to the odd acoustics present, the sound was distorted and appeared to be originating from the foul well. I must say I agree completely with his reasoning and mention the odd report merely to apprise you of all the facts. You should also know that since its discovery, that dreadful room has been condemned and permanently sealed. Although most of Dr. Gyjax's documents were destroyed before the arrival of the Swiss police, a number of accounting references survived. These were adequate to trace a series of suspicious transactions. Even the famed confidentiality of the Swiss banks has their limit. What I learned, though seemingly fantastic, is quite probable. It seems that Dr. Gyjax had laid his hands on a goodly portion, if not the entirety, of Lord Rochester's lost treasure. You may recall the story. Lord Rochester, the infamous London billionaire, married an American woman. They had but one child, a lad named Archibald. After the boy completed his education and achieved his majority, he travelled east to take charge of his father's interests. In addition to his holdings in England, Lord Rochester also held a number of jewel mines in India. At the end of 2 years, Archibald had accumulated a fortune in gemstones, all of the highest quality. The best of these were placed in a chest which he took with him onto a ship bound for England. Then his fortunes turned. Neither he nor the gems ever saw land, as a dreadful storm sank the ship near the Indian coast. Only a few of the ship's crew survived. The bodies of the rest were pulled from the sea with one notable exception. Not a trace was found of either Archibald or the famed chest. And the tragedy took a far greater toll. Lord Rochester was devastated by the news and died soon after. Grief-stricken, Lady Rochester returned to her family home in Boston. She herself died not long ago. What was once a noble family is now gone. What you may not know is that Archibald Rochester had the stones carefully documented and inventoried, something like that, before he boarded the ship. I was fortunate to see these very documents recently. Comparing the particulars, I can say with the utmost confidence that some of these same stones, presumably at the bottom of the Indian Ocean abyss, have astonishingly surfaced in the middle of the Swiss Alps. I was unsuccessful in uncovering exactly what facts led Amos Colby, the Northwood Agency operative, to that area, but you may know more about this subject than I am privy to. Sincerely yours, Mycroft.
Strange. Here, read this, Watson.
Indeed, but the possession of such a treasure is an end in itself. Why the devil go through with such an elaborate masquerade?
Money is often the motive of the basest acts, but not in this case. These are deep waters indeed, Watson. These people follow some other dark purpose, so desperate that it justifies any sacrifice and great risk.
You frighten me, Holmes.
I know. Sometimes I frighten myself. Enough of idle speculations, Watson. I asked you to study the figures drawn by young Davy. No doubt they are some cipher. What do you make of them?
So, we are looking for a solution to the code written by young Davy. This was Davy's message. Let's try to figure this out. It's probably gonna take some time from me, so I will edit this part so that you don't need to try to figure this out with me at the same time. But immediately what I notice here, what I'm paying attention to, is this slash mark. When we follow all the numbers, there are no other slash marks, so I think this must be some sort of key or somehow something that will help us decipher the code. So I'm gonna do some puzzle solving and get back to you later. Okay, let's try if this would work. After 1 hour and 31 minutes of trying to figure out this code. So 5, 6, 4, 3, 6, 6, 1, 3, 4. Fudge! Yes! Such a feeling of relief after trying to figure that puzzle out for like hour and a half. I haven't had the best of luck with these puzzles, but I managed to finally figure this one out and I'm glad. Yes, I did need to use a couple hints, but not all of them, and I'm very, very happy and proud of that. Let's continue. Oh my goodness.
Indeed, they are open to but one possible meaning, even if it eludes me at present. As for my own enigma, I have failed to penetrate the secrets of this book. The language is archaic, and my own modest knowledge of ciphers is sorely tested. I have succeeded in drawing forth only insanities and other absurdities. According to this book, if my translation is exact, if one makes this mark with human blood, and then with conviction recites this illuminating verse, Gnar Kudwalliam is hert sblöhe. The victim is mesmerized, or demons leave his mind. I tell you, Watson, this reads like complete gibberish. I do not know what to make of it.
How did you say it? Gnurth Kudwa... What? These drawings, what a horror. I tell you, Holmes, this book gives me great unease, as does almost everything to do with this affair.
I just recalled, Watson. Didn't Barnes, the bookseller, tell us he had studied ancient history? Perhaps he might help us with the translation of this book. We must seek out better minds, for we are at a standstill. I have not the slightest idea where they could have taken these people and what consequences await them. Let's take our leave and see if Barnes might be of assistance.
Okay, let's do that. Whoa, what is this? A cursed book text. Okay, and this is not the only page we are seeing. There are some forms vaguely resembling alphabets, but then there are these figures which look like something completely else, and this is familiar. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go to our bookstore then. Oh, I think we are finally at the point where we are gonna be really solving this mystery. Killing Tempest. How does London look today? Baker's... Why do you do this to me? Let's see if we are able to take a... No, we are not able to take a magazine, but... Hello. Hello, Bitchin. You are wonderful. I just want you to know. Have a good day. I'm wondering what the heck is going on, and I don't think we can turn back at this point anymore. We are in it now. I wonder what kind of consequences our actions will have.
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, a real pleasure to see you. I say, where have you been? You've stayed away for some months now.
Indeed, we took a very long journey and barely made it back. However, we have more important matters to discuss. Didn't you say you have some knowledge of ancient people, their language, writings, and customs?
Indeed I did, Mr. Holmes. Why do you ask?
You are just the man we need. I ran across this esoteric text during our travels and wondered if... Is there something wrong, Barnes?
Mr. Holmes, wherever did you find this? This book, it is worthy of a museum.
If you could be so good as to translate some of these fragments for me, I would be in your debt. I am particularly interested in these pages here. They are in the poorest condition and therefore appear to be the most used.
With pleasure. I will get to work straight away and keep you informed of my progress.
And lose your sanity points. It's usually when you play Call of Cthulhu TTRPG, you read something like this and that's how you lose your sanity points. Well, you do roll some dice, but still. You look happy now, but you will regret it later.
My word, this book contains powerful language, like some dark magic. Dreadfully impressive. I will send word as soon as I am done.
Okay, great. Watson, any idea what
Holmes, whatever shall we do while waiting for dear Barnes to finish his translation?
I was wondering actually the same thing. I don't think there's anything we can do in this bookstore at the moment. Can we go here?
I have no reason to go there.
Of course not. Let's run back. Well, let's go to Baker Street. Oh, the young fellow is there with the latest Strand.
Strand! Get the Strand! 3 ships still missing at sea. All aboard feared lost. Get the Strand! Latest word on the missing ships.
Give me the latest edition. There's a good lad.
Thank you, mister.
Okay, let's do this. Strand, London, 2nd of December, 1894. Storm of the century. The colossal tempest many are already calling the storm of the century has taken hold of the Scottish and Irish coastlines. It has been raging for these last 2 weeks and officials are alarmed by signs that the storm is intensifying. Witnesses report that the winds are increasing and waves higher than 40 feet have been spotted. Damn, that's quite something. The storm is taking a terrible toll in shipping and the lives of seamen. 34 ships have been reported lost, and even as this article goes to press, several hundred lives hang in the balance as seamen struggle against the raging elements. Sadly, the Royal Navy rescue is presently forbidden to launch any search parties due to the dangerous conditions. Until the storm lifts, those lost at sea have only fortune and faith which may carry them home. Ooh, that sounds like one hell of a storm. Their one ray of hope is that the majority of lighthouses remain in operation. The roads leading to them are largely underwater, and their occupants, the guardians of our coast and a sailor's last friend, are manning their posts bravely, though they remain cut off from the world. Her Majesty the Queen held an emergency meeting with her ministers about the crisis along our coast, and it was learned that similar phenomena are occurring around the world. An extraordinary quality of the tempest that is savaging our waters is that it appears to affect the weather around the world, creating similar storms elsewhere. Reports from continental Europe, the Americas, Africa, and Oceania all speak of the rapidly deteriorating sea conditions. Some scholars speculate that the force and direction of the currents around our coastline is amplifying the effect of these waves in the ambient seas. However, according to these same scholars, a worldwide effect of this magnitude would be the first of its kind. French police sputter. Undoubtedly, the French police are always late in its unbridled chase of the mysterious burglar A.L., whose exploits we have followed with great regularity. The police have struck a significant obstacle, this being the victim's unbridled admiration for this canny thief. A rich and well-known eccentric heiress was recently robbed of a fortune in gems. Their value is estimated to be several 100 million francs. The regional authorities had placed her estate under close watch as they quite rightly regarded it as a prime target for this notorious thief. Last night, a shadowy figure was observed scaling the wall, crossing the grounds, and entering the residence. The policemen closed their trap neatly, with an entire brigade standing by as reinforcements. They charged the manor, throwing the household into a panic, and rushed the heiress' private rooms. She met them in her nightdress and perkily announced that the theft of her jewelry had just occurred. After several minutes, rather long ones, she explained that she showed the burglar an ancient secret passage in her room, through which he escaped and skillfully avoided the police. The passage led to a nearby train station. The shocked civil servants took their leave without saying a word, rejecting the light meal prepped for them by the lady of the house. No doubt it will take more than a few croissants for this lady to persuade the assurance company to pay her the value of the stolen gems. And this is London, December 2nd, 1894. Newspaper The Strand.
Watson, consider the news of all these missing ships. I have an idea, but it will be necessary to secure a chart for the Scotland coast and nearby seas. No point in asking Barnes. I have no desire to divert his attention from the translation.
True enough, Holmes. But where else would we find such a chart?